I skipped as much as I could, but it wouldn't let me skip this section, so I guess it's important. Yeah, I guess I'll start from here, because it won't let me skip it. Like, November 15th. That's pretty close to where it separates. The routes it. Oh, come on, let me save. Let me save. Okay. We'll just start from here. Oh, shoot. Music. Let's go to a clinic first, and just in case. Just then, I heard footsteps.
Oh.
Actually, let's just skip all this. Hi. Okay, bye. Yeah, let's just skip.
Oh, hi, Tor-san.
Oh my god.
Negative. Yo.
Like, I think, the inspiration only matters once you actually get into and start the route. Like, before then, I don't think it really matters, because the inspiration you get applies to...
Ah, ne.
Oh, I love Ray.
Negative. Yeah. Mo.
You did it. Well, they're gonna go bad soon, so you better hurry. Sorry, kid. Those are constantly sold out and basically impossible to find. Just FYI. Cool.
Ah.
What? You don't care? I'm not hungry. Oh my god, fine. Then I'm gonna eat them. Cool. Or I would, but for once, I'm not that hungry myself, so I feel you. Feel me.
ちょっとね。
My appetite is just, like, totally gone today. I wonder why. Maybe it's because I have the trio and tried to eat that 35-ounce ribeye last night. What? Dude, that's totally why. You think so? I felt super bloated this morning. Maybe I won't try that again.
行くわね。
Wait, I gotta deliver that lost wallet. See you. Ray.
何?
I love Ray. Ray love. Oh wait, now that I'm not doing... Actually, no.
おう、とわ。
Oh, hey, Pops.
なあ。
Oh, what is that? Oh, candy cigarettes. I think I said no last time, so I'll accept it this time.
どうも。
Thanks.
おお。
Say, want anything else? You can have more than that, you know. Wait. Even my number. Oh, thanks. Don't hold back now, Tiger.
よし。
There's some savory snacks in here too. How about this?
それは
Big cuts.
これはな。
These are my favorite. They're great. Goes well with booze too. But might be a bit too greasy for your taste. Give it a try. Cool.
よし。
Alright, I'm gonna get going. Sounds good. Bye, Pops. Should stop pop zoning game.
Bye. Oh, hey.
Oh, it's the blondie.
Toa.
Want some candy? Why do strangers keep offering candy? Make a burrito.
ネガティブに。いや。
誰?
Did I pick the wrong one? Well, Well, shit. I saved the beginning of this, so if I fuck up, you know, what's up the commotion? Oh shit.
しゃらくせえな。
What do you do?
ポジティブに。
Maybe next time. C'est la vie. I'm tired of hauling his ass. I guess I'll call Maya. Hassel's not picking up. Toa, if you see Mayu around anywhere, could you tell him I'm looking for him?
はーい。
Oh, bye.
Anything else? Pay off the roost. I guess it let me do it because I got more inspiration that time. I probably missed one from the Blondie. Oh well.
Oh, hey.
I don't know, like, I could try to get his, like, what's it called? His madness route, but, like, I got Kirihara's last time in the unarchived VOD, and basically they just both die. There's no new CG, it's very short, it's like, oh, you end the interrogation, and it's like, oh shit, I lost too much blood, and then it's like game over. I don't think it's really worth the hassle. You don't really get much from it. You just die. Okay. Here we go. Oh, this is where it splits off. Here it is, the beginning of the route. Whoa. It's time. It's Dr. Root time. Mm-hmm. Come to Papa.
おう、とわ。
Hey there, Toa.
よ
Are you off the clock? Ran out of patience, so I'm taking a little break. What about you? Just got back from Roost.
う。うん。
Gotcha, in that case. Here, have a palate cleanser. He handed me a can of coffee, as per usual. Ray told me about Ikuina-san. Did you go to the flower shop?
あ
Yeah, but he said he won't be coming in for a while. Then I bumped into him at Roost.
あ。それで
Oh, so you did find him. How'd it go? Nothing really happened. You sure? Ray told me all about it. Said you rejected his flowers, so chances are good he's feeling hurt.
別に。
He didn't seem that way to me. Well, if he's not bothered by it, then I guess it's no big deal. By the way, is something going on with you? You seem to be in an oddly good mood. Then you must be seeing things.
本当か
Am I? Because I suspect you might be up to no good, and if I'm right, then you better dial it back. Yes, get online, sister. At night, I was lying on the sofa, wasting time like always. Okay, then it's Ikuina time. Yeah, I'll end it. I already got Taku's root confirmed, so. And then they have a weird, sex section. Oh no, I have to do this again. Fuck. I'll be a bitch.
ネガティブ。
Maybe we'll die.
は
Okay, let me... Maybe I will get the bad end. Let's see, let's see. I'll just be a little bitch. They won't let me skip, so...
違います。
Looks tired.
これは
それは
You bitch.
ネガティブに本当に
Apparently, if it opens too much, you screw up.
そうだな。
それは
ネガティブ。
You.
ああ、
I feel you. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
あ
Right. I forgot the voice I did for him. Oh shit. Yeah, forget it. All of a sudden, I lost interest and fell silent. Are you kidding me? This bullshit again. Oh my god.
さあ、話せ。
俺は
I'll try to get the bad end, I suppose, since we're here. Alright, let's move on. I think it only matters at the very end what options you pick. So I'll just
それでポジティブになるほど。
You're struggling with something.
そうだよな。
You're struggling with something that's hard to put into words. I feel you.
とわさん
これはポジティブ。そうか。
Smoke is swaying slowly and its color is getting brighter.
そうだな。
それは
Pick something different.
ネガティブ。ああ。
あ
Oh, I did it. Shit. Nice.
欲望の答えは
Desire.
傷。
Shit.
興味があるのか。
それは
この傷跡。
Hours? Oh,
Hana.
okay, okay. Shit.
花が好き。本当に花が好きなのか。
それは本当は
The best game ever.
まだだ。まだ足りない。
待ってください。あ
Why are you moaning, bro? Bro, what's up? What is going on?
気になるか。
はい。
ネガティブ。ああ。
あ
What's going on too? You can touch him if you want to. If it's you, it's alright.
ああ。いいぜ。お前は
Bait.
ネガティブ。
とわさん
So sad. So,
それでいい。
don't hold back. But it's a bad end time. You can do whatever you want.
よし。楽しませろよ。
You can do whatever you want. Whatever you like. Anything.
あ
Okay. Perfect. The smoke is swaying sharply and getting brighter. Oh, I think I might be getting the bad end. Nice.
ネガティブ。
So funny.
ああ、面白い。
Or maybe you like both. That's a face of a pervert right there.
言えよ。
I don't know. I want to make him
Negative.
sweat. Are you still hesitating? Oh. Whoops.
傷跡を
Let's go.
傷。本当に興味があるのは傷だよな。
Oh, I think I
Hi.
got the
ああ、
the non.
全部わかった。
Uh-huh.
切り裂きたい。それがお前の望みなんだな。
あ、そうです。その通りです。
I love how excited Choa looks here. Yeah, I just got the normal one. And they're gonna do some erotic play, you know. They didn't like crackle, like when the hourglass starts like getting all cracky, that's when you know you
俺
got
が
the
本
bad
当
end.
に
Yeah. And they do some weird knife play. Actually,
タクか。
oh, Taku. Hey, Taku. Taku,
終わった。
it's over.
迎えに来てくれ。場所は。
Do me a favor and come get me. The address is. I don't think that happened last time. After Ikuina's euphoric episode, I scrapped together the last dregs of my conscious mind. Then, with shaking fingers, I placed a call on my cell phone. Luckily, Taku picked up, and 20 or 30 minutes later, he and Ray came running into Ikuino's condo. It's slightly different. I went back home to the clinic, but Ikuino was taken to a different facility, the Takanokuchi Medical Office. Apparently, Taku made the call after he saw what my... Apparently, Taku made the call after he saw that my injuries were a lot worse than he was expecting. After cutting each other to shreds, Ikuina and I had lost a lot of blood, and if I had waited any longer to make the call, he said I might have died. From my perspective, that sort of thing happened all the time. I would interrogate my art model to learn their darkest wishes, then I would grant them. Most people who were drawn to apply to the Euphoria model gigs generally had some sort of unspeakable darkness buried inside. Birds of a feather flock together, as they say. If I determined that I was able to grant their wish and that they were truly that they truly craved it from the bottom of their hearts, I would respond to their email. That said, I rejected any desires pertaining directly to death. Not that I was afraid to die, but there was no coming back from it. Once I was dead, there was nothing left to look forward to. I could generally find out if someone's desire was the real deal by talking to them about it. It helped that I could observe their emotional reactions through their smoke. If it wasn't the real deal, then I'd call the whole thing off on the spot. Thus far, I had never made the wrong call. By making use of my conversational skills and their smoke, I could get a near-perfect read on people. This made them easy marks to manipulate. No one who modeled for me ever spoke of their euphoric episodes to a third party. I only chose the ones who I knew wouldn't turn around and regret it later. That was why I often went a few months in between pieces. Why was I so committed to drawing people's dark desires? Well, for one thing, it interested me, and for another, I lived for that exact moment when my model's dream came true and their every trace of rationality melted away like butter. Chapter 1. Race.
Chapter 2. Hello.
After Taku patched me up back at the clinic, he ordered me to stay and recuperate until I regained my strength. This too always happened after any euphoric episode. He would hover at my side and nurse me back to health. And since he already did my laundry and cleaned my apartment, it wasn't much extra work. He's your mommy. But Ray warned him not to neglect the clinic patients too much. According to Ray, Taku was a kind and generous person who tended to get tunnel vision when he focused too hard on one thing. He and I had known each other for a long time, but even then, Ray felt he was often overly protective of me. Papa! After a week of medical treatment, I was able to sit upright again. And although I was less than stellar condition, I started camping out in my room to paint. Before Ikuina's contribution faded away entirely, I puked it all out of my system, steadily drowning my white canvas in paint. Now that I had entered the painting stage, I became a single-minded robot. Neither Taku nor Ray tried to interact with me, they just watched from the doorway. Anytime they tried to speak to me while I was painting, I just ignored them. I didn't turn the TV on like normal, nor did I take smoke breaks. If at any point my brush fell still, it was to stare blankly into space or pass out on the floor. Holy shit. By this point, Taku and Ray had given up trying to change me, so they decided to let me do my thing. We can't fix him. Only once I finished my art, whether that was a week or a month, I would leave my apartment. This time, it took 2 weeks. I barely ate or drank the entire time, so I was emaciated and weak. It wasn't safe for me to be walking around in that state. Taku and Ray demanded that I contact them as soon as my art was finished. Oh my god, he doesn't wear gloves. This man's a walking disaster. Like, he's working with oil paint, bro. A highly carcinogenic substance. Since seated in front of the easel, I set down my paintbrush and pulled my phone out of the pocket of my coveralls. My fingers, stained black with paint, slowly typed out a message to the Taku/Ray group chat. The mommy and daddy group chat. A short while later, I heard the elevator arrive at my floor. Loud footsteps approached my door, then it burst open and Taku ran in, dressed in his white lab coat.
What the?
It's over?
Ah.
Yeah. I nodded. With a sigh of relief, Taku walked up to me.
具合は大丈夫か?
How are you feeling? You okay?
酒が飲みたい.
I want booze.
その前に飯だろ。レイに何か買ってきてもらうから待ってろ。
You need to eat something first. I'll have Ray go buy something, so wait right here. He pulled his cell phone out of his coat pocket. The conversation brought all my senses back to life. Overwhelming fatigue set in at once. When I was painting, I scarcely felt the need to eat or use the restroom. Literally at all. Then, once I finished, it would all come crashing down to me. Too exhausted to stand, I slumped over at the easel.
少し横になったらどうだ?
Maybe you should lie down. Once he was done talking to Ray, Taku walked over and crouched down beside me. He pulled my lower eyelid down, pressing a palm to my forehead and checked a few other vitals.
とりあえずは大丈夫そうだな。
Well, you seem to be okay for now. Then he looked over at the canvas in front of us and gasped. I imagine this would look good in person, but digitally it's not as good. Yeah, I've seen pieces like these in person. They look really good, but like digitally, it just doesn't feel the same, to be honest. And like, I imagine it's like it has a bunch of textures and 3D qualities to it. What I had painted was a bloody, fleshy flower in full bloom. Observed from a distance, it looked like a human silhouette. Yeah, stuff like that is really cool too. Taku stared at it for a moment, then looked back at me.
相変わらずすごい絵だな。俺は芸術方面は点で疎いが、お前の描く絵がとんでもないってことはわかる。
You sure do make some incredible art. I don't have a lick of artistic taste, but even I can tell your work is impressive.
だからお前が絵を描くための題材を求めるのも理解しているつもりだ。
So, I try to be understanding about the way you get your inspiration.
ただ、あまりのめり込みすぎるなよ。いくら題材とはいえ、相手は人間なんだから。
But I need you to stop plunging headfirst into these things. Inspiration's great and all, but your models are only human.
You won't understand the thrill, the need for inspiration to make a good art piece.
I looked down at my feet without responding. Taku had never approved of me sleeping around, but he knew no amount of chastising me would get me to stop, so he'd given up. Aw, Papa. To him, the euphoric episodes were like a sex thing. Not necessarily, I don't think Toa does it all the time. Granted, this isn't altogether wrong, but I was a grown adult who didn't need to be babied. Oh, yeah, sure. I was starting to think Ray was right about Taku being overprotective.
レイが来るまでもうちょっと待ってろ。
Just sit tight until Ray gets here. You must have interpreted my silence as complete and utter exhaustion. Exhaustion. He patted me lightly on the shoulder and straightened up.
それじゃ仕事に戻るぞ。何かあったらすぐ連絡しろよ。
Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Get in touch if you need anything.
ああ。と、そうだ。
Oh, that's right. Right as he opened the door to leave, he seemed to remember something. He turned back.
生稲さん、無事に退院したらしいぞ。それと、レイと話してたんだが、もうすぐクリスマスだろ。
I heard Ikuina-san's been safely discharged from the hospital. Oh, and I was talking to Ray. You know how Christmas is right around the corner?
レイが店でパーティーやるから来いって言ってたぞ。もうそんな時期なんだよな。早いもんだ。
Well, Ray's invited us to the party they're throwing at the bar. Man, I can't believe it's already here. Time flies. Shaking his head, Taku walked out. In his absence, silence filled the room. I suddenly rose to my feet, grabbed the remote off the coffee table, and switched on the TV. All my life, I despised silence. For some reason, quiet places felt intensely suffocating and always made me break out in a cold sweat. TV static, however, was reassuring. It always filled the void with its loud, endless drone. I dropped down on the sofa and then grabbed my cigs and lighter off the table. Yuna had been discharged, but I felt nothing. My interest in a given art model ceased to be after the euphoric episode was over. Like a one-night stand, my life moved on without them. I lit a cigarette, took a long drag, and slowly exhaled. Come to think of it, I had received a few more model inquiries while I was painting. I decided to look at them later. For now, I would enjoy the bitter taste of nicotine on my tongue. It's a really cool concept though, like making paintings from people's deep desires. What?
Please.
Grant me thy salvation.
Amen.
I'm Chapter 2. Me. That's me! A doctor playing a doctor game? Who would have thought? When Taku told him I finished my painting, a very worried Ray showed up with a veritable mountain of home-cooked food and forced me to eat it. After that, unsurprisingly, my body, or more specifically my stomach, felt like lead, so I laid down on the sofa. Ray claimed he was just making sure I wasn't malnourished, but if you ask me, he was every bit as overprotective as Taku. It wasn't pleasant to stuff myself with food when my body was so used to going without. When my stomach finally settled, I picked up my cell phone and tapped around while I had a smoke. I opened my inbox and skimmed through the replies to the art model listing. Some applicants had attached photos of their emails, but none of it really caught my interest. Right as I was starting to think they were all duds, however, my eye landed on a subject line of the final email. In place of a greeting or cover letter explaining why they should be chosen, all they had written was a short poem. O heavenly Savior, grant me thy salvation. I am your faithful servant. I have no words to describe the beauty of your heavenly messengers. The content of the poem was religious in nature. I'd received several emails like these in the past. But they seemingly changed their email address every time, because none of my responses ever went through, so these days I just ignored them. I was curious at first, but after reading the same thing over and over, the novelty had worn off. Unless the tone of these poems got a lot more urgent somehow, I couldn't see myself caring. I closed the email and navigated to Ruth's blog. I guess it kind of looks like a person, like this is the head, the torso, the ass. It kind of does. The article at the top featured my latest Euphoria piece. Ray must have uploaded the photos he took when he came by. I felt like going down to have a drink, not just because of the blog. so I pulled on my coat and left the apartment. My body felt heavy from the days and days of barely moving. Slowly but surely, I headed to roost. After being cooped up for so long, the nippy night air felt pleasant against my skin. During the day, the air hung low over the bustling city, but the nights were always crisp. The colder, the better. As I approached the downtown area, foot traffic began to increase. The city was decked out in Christmas decorations and classic songs played over the loudspeakers. As the passerby walked along glitterly, I spied a kid clinging to a store display window, tugging on his mom's hand and begging for something. He pointed to a big teddy bear sitting on the windowsill. The sight made me avert my eye. For whatever reason, I didn't feel comfortable about it. Aside from the cold weather, I hated the month of December. I couldn't explain why, but it repulsed me. For most people, particularly those who lived on the mainland, Christmas was a time of love and hope and joy, but Shinkomi was different. Each year, as the temperature got steadily colder and colder, deaths amongst the homeless population began to skyrocket. But Shinkomi didn't care about unidentified corpses. They had worse crimes to be dealing with. Fortunately, this city was originally built on a landfill, so there was no shortage of places to dump a body. These days, a lot of them were dumped in District A, in the sea of debris caused by the sinkholes, since they would be less conspicuous there. This kind of thing was always on the news, but it was so normalized by this point that nobody cared anymore. Sure, everyone was probably scared at first, but after you lived in it for a while, you would eventually adapt. Inevitably adapt. Here in the downtown area, the tragedy was buried beneath the festival lights and music. In Shinkomi, you could step over a corpse and not even notice. Arriving at Roost, I opened the door and walked in.
いらっしゃいってとは大丈夫
Welcome! Oh, it's Toa. You okay, hon? While he was on the clock, Ray was all smiles, but as soon as he laid eyes on me, he frowned and raced over. I nodded, then headed to the counter and availed myself of an empty seat.
いらっしゃい。何にする
Welcome. What'll be?
ウイスキー、ロック。
Whiskey on the rocks. The manager promptly set about making my drink. Meanwhile, I put an unlit cigarette between my lips and looked around the bar. Among all the regulars, I could see one unfamiliar face seated at the very end of the counter. The doctor? I lit my cigarette. The manager handed me my drink and I shifted my attention to the glass. I took a long drag and exhaled the smoke. Then I picked up my drink and took a sip. Just then, Ray walked to the counter.
体調は
How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
まあ、
Fine.
休んでた方が良かったんじゃないの
Shouldn't you be resting? As he tried to peer at my face, I turned my head and exhaled more smoke.
引きこもりっぱなしじゃ体が弱って歩けなくなるだろう。
If I stay cooped in there for too long, my muscles will atrophy, and I won't be able to walk.
やだ、おじいちゃんみたい。でも、とはならありえる話ね。
God, you sound like an old grandpa, but I guess it's possible knowing you. He laughed, though the worry didn't fade from his face.
でも、今回の絵もとっても良かった。店長が早速実物を展示したいって言ってたわよ。ね、店長。
Well, your most recent piece is super gorgeous. The manager was saying he wants to hang in the bar, right, boss? He called over the counter to the manager as he wiped a glass.
ぜひ持ってきてよ。
By all means, bring it in.
私が勝手に持ってくるわ。いいわよね、とは
I'll just grab it myself. You won't mind, right, Toa?
ご自由に。
Knock yourself out. At this, Ray raised his fist triumphantly in the air, and the manager smiled.
あ、そうだ。もうすぐクリスマスじゃない。またお店でパーティーするから、とわも来なさいよね。
Oh, that's right. You know how Christmas is almost here. We're gonna throw another party this year, so you should come.
タクから聞いた。
I heard about it from Taku.
それならなおさら来なさいよ。と、はい、今行きます。
Well, you better come. Oh, I see you. Be right there. Someone called from the table area, and Ray walked over in that direction. I lit my cigarette against the side of the ashtray and took another sip of my drink. Then, as I was taking another drag, my eye wandered back to the man at the end of the counter. He kept fidgeting restlessly, catching my attention the entire time I was talking to Ray.
I knew it.
He was a slender man, dressed in a well-fitting suit and silver-framed glasses. In a place like this, it was his tidy appearance that made him stick out. Judging from the way he kept glancing all around, he was completely paranoid. His smoke was brown and swaying restlessly, clear the guy was freaked out.
店長。
Hey, boss. The manager looked at me, and I gestured to the man with my gaze.
誰
Who's that?
ああ、
Oh. The manager looked at him, then paused.
まあ、トワ君には話してもいいかな。誰にも言わないだろうし。
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to tell you. I doubt you'll spread it around.
言う相手がいないからな。
Don't call anyone to spread it to. With a chuckle, he leaned forward over the counter.
あの人、実は医者なんだ。
Yes. Yes.
He's actually a doctor. Oh my god, same.
医者
A doctor? I love doctors.
そう。鷹の口院の先生だよ。
Indeed, he works for the Takunokuchi medical office.
へえ。
Interesting. As I took a drag, I glanced at the man out of the corner. Out of the corner of my eye.
よく来るのか
Does he come here a lot?
いや、たまにかな。
Oopsies. I don't know where I cut off. I'll show this just in case. No, just on occasion, but he never seems very comfortable here, so he always leaves right away. No surprise there. I looked back at the bespectacled doctor. Takunokuchi medical office, the same place where Ikuina was hospitalized. I heard it was a larger and better equipped than Murase Clinic. Only reason the big shot doctor would be caught dead at this bar if he had some unusual proclivities. What does that mean? Then on a whim, my mischievous side reared up. With my cigarette between my lips, I grabbed my glass and stood up. I walked over to Dr. Specs and sat down next to him. Flinching, he looked at me in alarm, then hastily faced forward once more.
医者の先生なんだって。
So I heard you're a doctor. This is a sexy doctor. Wow. A plus. A plus. With a lazy grin, I leaned in close, but he promptly turned his face away. I could see his hands trembling on the counter. Aw. Smoke twisted violently, thrashing. Oh my god, I love Toa. I love Toa. He's such a good protagonist. This provoked a sadistic urge in me, and I reached out to touch his hand. Wow. Holy shit. That's a doctor. Good doctor. I love this game. Doctors, yeah. The moment I made contact, he whipped his hand away and leapt up sharply, his chair clattering behind him. Panicked, he pulled his wallet from his coat pocket, dropped a few bills on the counter, and grabbed his suitcase. Well, then with a pointed glare in my direction, he stormed out. As I watched this all unfold, Ray came barreling over.
ちょっと見てたわよ。手出したの？そういうのやめなさいよね。お客さん減っちゃうじゃない。
Oh my god. Hello. I saw what you did. Can you stop with that? You're gonna drive away our customers.
医者なのか聞いただけだ。
I just asked if he was a doctor.
でも触ったでしょ。初対面からそういうの良くないと思います。
Yeah, but you touched him. Pretty sure that's not how you treat someone you just met?
軽いスキンシップだろ。
It was just a friendly gesture. He sighed in aspiration and walked off to the table area. Pinching a cig between my fingers, I grabbed my glass and took a sip of whiskey. Not only was the doctor out of place here, but the moment someone interacted with him, he flipped his lid. Granted, not everyone was predisposed to social interaction, but we didn't often get his type around here, so it was kind of novel. Oh. These thoughts only lingered for a moment, however, by the time the whiskey slid down my throat, I had already forgotten all about him. Shankomi times A to Z. Deadly hypothermia causes skyrocket as Christmas approaches. A single mother's cry for help. Why parental neglect is on the rise. News. Deadly hypothermia cases skyrocket as Christmas approaches. Christmas is just 5 days away, but while the city's feeling the holiday spirit, we're seeing record numbers of corpses on the street. We asked a coroner to tell us more about the growing trend. Single mothers and parents' neglect. After a long night of drinking at Roost, Ray flagged me down after his shift ended, and together we went home. Ray! Normally, he rode a motorcycle to work, but since it looked like it was gonna rain, he walked here instead. If it rains and you ride a motorcycle, you have to wear a log gear. It's kind of a hassle. I knew someone that rode a motorcycle. And so the two of us set off, me to Mercy Clinic and him to his apartment. As we walked along, chatting aimlessly, a small figure ran past us into the still active downtown area. Ray whirled around as if to give chase, but stopped.
ねえ、今走ってたの子供じゃない？
Hey, was that a kid? Man, I miss Ray. We both stared down the street, but we couldn't see any trace of them. Honestly, it wasn't that surprising for a kid to be roaming the streets of Shinkomi at night.
売りだろ。
Child prostitute?
そんな感じじゃなかったわ。全速力で走ってて、まるで何かから逃げてるような。
Didn't look like one. They were running full speed, almost like they were being chased by someone. Ray pursed his lips.
私、ちょっと追いかけてみる。
I'm going after them. Oh, Ray's kind. And with that, he took off running. Before I could say a word, he disappeared into the night. I sighed and crouched down on the sidewalk. Technically, I wasn't obligated to wait for him. I could have just gone home without him, but I was already lethargic from the booze. So I decided it was time for a smoke break. I took a drag, exhaled, and watched the passerby. As I zoned out and enjoyed a smoke, I heard little footsteps right before someone crashed into me from behind. A child! A high-pitched voice caught my attention, and I turned. A child! Holy shit, haven't seen one in this game yet. A young boy was standing there, about 10 years old, gasping for breath with a look of surprise on his face. We stared at each other for a few seconds, then he crouched down and pressed up against me like he was using me as a shield.
Oi.
Kid. Oh.
何してる?
What are you doing? Honestly, I would have the same response.
離れろよ。親はどうした? 早く帰れ。
Get away from me. Where are your parents? You should be home. The boy shook his head vigorously and refused to move.
おい。
Come on. Just then, a group of men dashed out from a nearby alley. Holy shit.
この野郎、母親はどこに行ったか言えってんだよ。
Holy shit. You little rat! Tell us where your mother went now! They were screaming about something, and when they spotted me, they stopped short.
おい、てめえそいつのなんだ?
Hey asshole! Who are you to him?
さあ。
Nobody.
関係ないなら、その坊主を渡しな。
If it's not your business, then hand over the kid. A man in red walked up and attempted to intimidate me. I looked at him, cigarette between my lips.
渡せって言ってんだよ。
I said hand him over.
持ってけば。
Then take him. The words left my lips in a haze of smoke. Apparently, they were after the kid behind me. But I wasn't involved in their business, as I said as much. Come on, Toa, you... Toa! He doesn't care.
ふざけてんのか?
Excuse me? You wanna fucking go? The guy in the red shirt was getting pissy. He didn't seem to like my attitude. While they were distracted with me, the boy stood up and took off like a bat out of hell. Oh, if Ray was here, he could beat those bitches all up. Oh my god.
なあこれ、間違えれ、捕まえろ。
Yeah. Hey, hold it! After him! The two of the red shirt's buddies ran after the kid. The remaining 3 men stepped up to me. It could be Yakuza. Like, you know, I heard Yakuzas are described as people wearing suits, but they're flashy. Like, this looks, yeah.
てめえ 今わざと逃がしやがったな。
Hey, shithead, you let him escape on purpose, didn't you?
なわけないだろ。
No, why would I?
うるせえやっちまえ。
Fuck off with that! Get him! The men all lunged at me at once, dragging me to the ground. The cigarette fell from my lips as a full body beatdown began. Normally I enjoyed the pain, but this was not one of those times. The guys were the type to use violence to stroke their own egos. They never picked a fight with someone of their own size. That was not the kind of violence I enjoyed, and I wanted no part in it. So I didn't bother fighting back. Instead, I lay there like I was waiting out a passing storm. Shit. When I came to, the men were gone. Instead, I was surrounded by a crowd of onlookers. They sat up, I reflectively spat out fluid in my mouth. Blood. Apparently, they really did a number on me. The slightest movement of my arm made my body ache all over. In particular, my left ankle felt like it was on fire and refused to bulge. Maybe it was broken. I could hear ambulance sirens in the distance. Someone in the crowd must have called for one. But I would have sooner crawled home than accept help from strangers. Come on, Toa, maybe make an exception for this. With that thought, I pressed both hands to the ground as I tried to push myself up. My leg refused to cooperate. No matter how many times I tried, I couldn't get up. With a sigh, I reluctantly gave up. Shit. Takunokuchi Medical Office. The ambulance took me to the Takunokuchi Medical Office. Apparently, it was the closest available medical facility. Are we gonna see Dr. Sexy? Please say yes. I was carried into the building on a stretcher. Then a male doctor arrived and treatment began. Following an x-ray, they determined my left ankle was sprained. Only sprained?
骨は折れていないので、腫れが引けば大丈夫ですよ。
You don't have a fracture, so once the swelling goes down, you'll be okay.
This is not Dr. Sexy. This is Dr. Average. But I don't know. For me, they're a plus 10 if they're a doctor, so. He applied medical tape to hold my ankle in place and then told me to go home and put it on ice if it started to hurt. He offered a pair of crutches, but I declined since I could still walk without putting weight on my left foot. Then he patched up my other injuries and left the exam room. Next, the nurse asked for my name and contact info. I said my last name was Murase, then gave her Taku's phone number. Oh, isn't that Taku's last name? I did this anytime I ended up at a hospital. Oh. Most people born in Shinkomi didn't have a birth certificate, myself included. Oh. Since a lot of people went by fake names and or had no family, hospitals couldn't turn a profit if they turned those patients away. So, while medical facilities were generally averse to treating gangsters and other troublemakers, they were willing to overlook a lot of other things. Just then, I remember the doctor I'd met at Roost the other night. Supposedly, he worked here.
この病院にメガネをかけた40代くらいの男の先生っている。
He's in his 40s? Wow, wow. It's totally my range. Is there a doctor who works here who's in his 40s and wears glasses?
そうですね。2人ほど。
Yes, I can think of two who think that fitted that description. The nurse looked at me dubiously.
ちょっと神経質そうで 背筋を伸ばして歩くような感じの人なんだけど。
Kind of uptight, walks with a very straight posture.
ああ、それは朝倉先生ですね。非常勤の先生です。
Oh, you mean Dr. Asakura? He works here part-time.
人からいい評判を聞いたから見てもらいたいと思って。
I heard he's a great doctor, so I was hoping I could come in to see him.
ああ、そうなんですね。
Oh, I see. I wasn't sure this excuse would fly, considering I didn't even know what the field this Arakura guy specialized in, but she nodded in understanding.
朝倉先生は毎日来てる。
Does Dr. Asakura come by every day?
非常勤なので毎日はいらっしゃらないんです。月曜と木曜、土曜の午前中ならいらっしゃいますよ。
Every day, since he's only part-time. He's here on Mondays, Thursdays, Saturday mornings. He could, specialize in something else, like working at another place. Judging from the way he reacted to me, he probably didn't want anyone knowing about his visits to Roost. So if someone from the bar showed up at his workplace, he'd probably flip. Let's flip him. As my inner mischief maker began to plot.
Jeff. Haha, mischief time.
I slowly slid off the hospital bed.
It's time to cause mischief.
While I was at the billing counter, I asked about Asakura's schedule. They told me he had an appointment available the next day, so I took it. After I left Takunokuchi, I checked my phone and found a dozen message notices from Ray filling my screen. I wrote back to him, let him know I was on my way home, then started walking, dragging my hurt leg behind me.
Ray-chan.
やだ。何？どうしたの？
Oh my god, what happened to you? Taku and Ray were waiting for me in the lobby. As soon as I walked in, they jumped to their feet.
Nani?
I love this face.
お前、その足。
What's with your foot?
骨折？っていうかボロボロじゃない。どうしよう。
Oh my god, did you break it? Just look at you. Oh my god, you're a mess. I love my drama queen wife. Ray pressed both hands to his mouth, blinking back tears. Oh my god, it's okay, honey. It's okay, honey. It's okay.
本当にごめんね。私のせいで。あの時、私が子供を追いかけちゃったから。
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. If only I hadn't run after that little boy. It's alright. That was where it all started, but I didn't hold him responsible for it.
子供は見つけたんだけど、すぐ逃げられちゃって。
I did end up finding him, by the way, but he instantly ran off. He was probably referring to the same kid who bumped into me. Little guy must have thought Ray was with the thugs who were after him.
その後に戻ったんだけど、トアがいなくなってたから、てっきりクリニックに戻ったのかと思って。
Then when I came back, you were gone. So I figured he must have gone home to the clinic.
何があったの？本当にごめんね。本当。
What the heck happened? God, I'm so sorry. I swear. It's okay, honey bunny.
そんなキャラだったか、お前。
Do you ever apologize to me? Grinning, I teased him. His guilty expression hardened as he scowled at me.
キャラとかそういうの関係ないわよ。本当に悪いと思ってるんだから。
God, what are you talking about? I feel awful, so of course I'm gonna apologize.
タバコと酒で
I'll accept booze and smokes. For a moment, he stared back at me in confusion, then his glare sharpened.
不健康
That's not healthy!
まあまあ落ち着け。
No, settle down, class. Taku held out both hands to Ray in a stop gesture, then he looked at me.
レイと離れてる間に何があった？喧嘩にでも巻き込まれたのか？
What happened while Ray was gone? You get dragged into a fight?
勘違いで襲われた。
They attacked me over a misunderstanding.
勘違いか。疑いは晴れたのか？
Yeah? Well, did you get it cleared up?
さあ、
No clue.
まあいい。それで病院へ行ったわけないよな、お前が。救急車か。
Fine, whatever. So then you went to the hospital? Not of your own free will, I imagine. Ambulance?
ああ、鷹の口院に運ばれた。
Yeah, they took me to the Takunokuchi medical office.
そうか。
Gotcha. Taku furrowed his brow with a hard look on his face.
ねえその足じゃ歩くのも大変でしょ支えるわ
Oh. Isn't it like kinda hard to walk like that? I'll help you. Clearly, Ray still felt responsible for my injuries. He started to put my arm around his shoulders.
いいって歩けるから。
Fine, I can walk.
疲れちゃうわよそれどころか部屋にたどり着く前に力尽きるかもしれないし
You're gonna wear yourself out. You might not even make it all the way back to your room.
まさか。
Yeah, right.
あんたなら十分ありえるわよ
It's you we're talking about. It could happen.
ない。
Not a chance.
二人ともやめろ。とは、今日はもう自分の部屋でゆっくり休め。いいな。
Yes, Dad. Will you two knock it off? Toa, go to your room and get some rest, got it? Yes, Papa. In the end, Ray insisted he would help me walk, and I reluctantly went along with it.
Okay, I'll end here. I'm tired. Okay, bye.
Mostly ending here because I have to attend to my lovely, lovely doggy. So, ciao ciao for now.